I'm Peter Rosenberg, aka RosenbergRadio.com, aka your favorite restaurant's favorite customer, aka who stole the last piece of cake, and you're checking out Sweet903.com. Real soul, y'all. When I started out DJing, all I could do was learn from the radio and try to imitate. So everything was an adventure. I remember forever not figuring out how they were bringing records back. I had no concept that it was two copies of the same record. I'm like, they have the instrumental on one side and the acapella on the other. I never understood it. I don't even know how I figured that out, but at some point early on, I finally figured that out, maybe watching a DMC video or something. When I got to the University of Maryland and met the Soul Controllers, who were a legendary college radio crew, who still do radio on WPFW in DC, public radio. When I got up there, I saw my man DJ Book's turntables, and I was bugged out because he didn't have the rubber slip mats on the turntables. If you're a DJ, you're already saying that I'm a herb for life, because it's completely embarrassing to try to DJ with the rubber slip mats on the turntables, because if you're not a DJ, that won't allow the records to move, even if you have a slip mat. So I would watch the DMC battles, and I would see these cats spinning the records back so fast, brr, brr. And I was like, what? I have no idea how they're doing it. I have the wrong 1200s. My 1200s are broken. And then I got up there and I was like, you took the rubber mat off and you just put the felt slip mat on. And so of course I didn't tell him, but I looked around like, oh, say a word. Got to the stage that day with my turntables. I was like, I don't need these anymore. So I didn't DJ out. When I DJ'd out, I was in the total burbs. I'm from Montgomery County, which is always in the top 5 most well-off counties in the country. I am not that well-off personally, but it's a very well-off county. I didn't hang out with other DJs. I was the DJ. And I would get in my car and play that was the main way I really played my music for people, was when you go out on Saturday night and you get in the car with the fresh tape. Boom, I just made this. And then when we get to some spots where I was bringing it back all terrible, my friends would kind of look at me like, and I was like, yo, my headphones were messed up, I couldn't hear the cue. So that was my first experience playing out, which you just play out for your friends. Well, when I think of soulful hip hop, I guess you can interpret it different ways. You can interpret it musically in terms of soulful influence, and you can interpret it in terms of more literally in terms of the style of sound. So when I think soulful hip hop that pops in my head that I grew up on, I think the first record that just instantly popped in my brain right now was Smooth Operator by Kane. To me, that sounded I didn't even really understand what soul was as a 9-year-old Jewish kid in Montgomery County. I was sort of interpreting it myself and through my brother, but Smooth Operator was this is funky, this is something different that I love. I think maybe the most soulful record of all time in terms of the feel and the passion of the record was Shut 'Em Down, the Pete Rock remix, in terms of you literally feel someone's soul on a record. You know what I mean? That's something that doesn't exist anymore, something that Public Enemy was so brilliant at doing. Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory, that's to me one of the most soulful hip hop records of all time, and just one of the most dark, bassy, amazing albums ever. And that was probably the record that made me realize that hip hop was it wasn't just something I liked because my brother liked, but Low End Theory made me realize that I loved hip hop, and it was what I was doing. In 7th and 8th grade, I developed my identity as the hip hop dude, and that was Low End Theory, front to back, and Midnight Marauders, that continuation of records. The expression of struggle and passion, or something like that. The meeting point of struggle, passion, and expression is soul to me, I guess. And that leaves the door open to a lot of artists and a lot of artists' interpretation of the soul. I don't know, I'm weird with art. I look at art all in a similar way. It doesn't matter whether it's grimy hip hop or glossy country or pro wrestling. It's anything where people deliver their art form has a lot of meaning to me if they deliver it with passion and from their soul. There are people who, bleed what they do, and that's soul to me. Yo, I'm Peter Rosenberg, and you are logged on to Sweet903.com.